Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the weekly comic run-up. We've covered this week's Marvel books, and now it's on to the distinguished competition. Starting things off, we've got Detective Comics number 1070, continuing Gotham Nocturne. Where we left off, the Orgams were experimenting with the asthma on the people of Gotham that no one's going to ask questions about if they suddenly stopped seeing them. However, when they were doing this in the sewers, this attracted the attention of another sewer dweller within Gotham, Solomon Grundy. So the issue begins with the Orgam's security forces fighting Solomon Grundy, and well, yeah, it doesn't go well at all. They attempt to get him with an asthma, and he literally just punches it out of his head. But he finds Cheshire Cat, who had just escaped, and helps her, and they go off together, presumably so that he can lead her out. And we've got Bruce at his parents' grave, saying he constantly, cleans away the dust and the debris of storms, while also just thinking about what his life has become. When he's met by Arzen Orgam, they talk a bit. Apparently, Gotham National has a lien on the property of Wayne Manor, and so interested parties were invited to look around. Bruce says that the manor is not for sale and never will be, but Arzen tells him a bit about his life. Apparently, there's an Orgam tradition. Before rising to the throne, a would-be king or queen must go out into the world to live among the people of the earth and find someplace truly worth saving, and save it. His father did this, never returned. He traveled with the Aran nomads looking for their lost city. The basic version... Explain the basic gist of the story, though, is that the city was never lost. It was the Aram who were lost. To it and to each other. Betrayal had ripped them apart, and that betrayal ended up killing Arzen's father. Bruce contacts Oracle about what's going on, and apparently in the sewers. Oracle explains that hundreds have been taken down there, maybe more, and with the fact they keep moving them, it makes planning a rescue almost impossible. Oracle suggests a more fluid approach, but Bruce says that he went in blind the first couple times and it did not go well for him. However, Cass is down there, thinks that they're moving with purpose, as if following some long lost memory of Gotham down there in the Warrens. Bruce also asks Oracle to look into the Orgams for him. That night at the Water District, Batman goes to see Talia. And asks and basically asks what she knows about everything that's going on. She tells him the tale of Arzen Orgam's father. He had married into the Orgam family, and he had ridden out with nomads. He had ridden out with 4 others. Nang Modrum, physician and fleshcrafter of the Chola Kings. Gael Tenclaw, the eldest of Timir's relentless hordes. Shabbat Ahad, the mercurial priestess of serpents, and his most trusted aide, his brother, his friend, and his killer, Ra's al Ghul. In the clock tower, Oracle is visited by a member of the Vigil, who has apparently they've been helping. The Vigil has been helping Oracle with information on what's going on. When she asks why they don't just stop it, it's explained that it's Gotham, and Gotham is protected by the Batman, and Batman has his rules. Rules they'd rather not break. Rules they can't necessarily abide by. And they'd rather not find themselves on opposing sides. Adding that they're being watched. Adding that the Bat family should fix it, or the Vigil will. Our backup story: Harvey Dent's psychiatrist was kidnapped. It's kind of been, who's got her is kind of. First it was the Organs, then Harvey, then Mr. Freeze, who's using her for as a test subject for some of his experiments. However, she has encountered a ghost that lives in music. But Freeze seemingly has his has had a successful test of his experiment, but it goes awry, and he has a bit of a tantrum. And the psychiatrist is deemed dead. Though her brain, her heart and brain may have stopped, but her mind hasn't. And she's rescued by the young boy that's been in Jim Gordon's care. It says some people call him Sorrow. And he frees her from the ice. She wonders why he's looking at her like she's his age. And that is where the issue ends. Definitely some interesting plot points. It was clear there was a connection between the League of Assassins and the Organs. Now we, at least to a point, know what it is. Moving on to our next book, we've got Harley Quinn number 28. Getting an all-new story. I think it's an all-new run, because I think T. Howard has taken over Harley, but we open with her fighting Two-Face. They've had a bit of a prank war. Two-Face even offers, but Two-Face says, hey, you know what? Maybe, why not work? Offers her let her work with him. She declines. She's also been using a henching app for henchmen. Outfits and makeup cost extra, so. But she gets back to her Ivy's place, spending a relaxing evening with Bud and Lou. The next day, she's having coffee with Kevin, and Kevin's trying to be a voice of reason, but Harley's not exactly having it, and she ends up getting arrested. When talking to the judge, a community service sentence is decided upon, seeing as how Gotham City Community College needs professors desperately. Pay is too low to retain hires, so perhaps community service is what Harley needs. So, her first day of class. She, well, she does at least get an interesting question from one of the students, but then Two-Face attacks, and she busts up his vehicle. Apparently she has her mallet with her. And later, she swings a giant fish at him, hitting him in the face. But she doesn't know what to make of the fish. She takes it home, and Bud and Lou are even perplexed by it when Lady Quark shows up and basically explains that she's kind of broken the multiverse a little bit. And the fish is evidence of that. But apparently Harley has punched a ragged hole through the multiverse and taken the fish from another Earth, leaving it weak and tattered. But basically, she's told, fix the hole in the multiverse has to be fixed, or there's the possibility of Earth Zero being destroyed. We have a fun little backup. Type of alternate universe type kind of thing. Gotham City Sirens and lovely angel Harley Quinn. But the evil billionaire Bruce Wayne sends a bat monster out into Gotham, and Harley summons the other lovely angels. Group chat power activated, and the three of them combine into a magical bestie robot with a gun that fires the power of friendship and blows a hole in the bat monster. Then Selena skips, and well, that's that. And that is where the issue ends. Okay, the Beast Boy was a fun little jaunt. An interesting start for Tini Howard's run on Harley. Didn't realize that she was taking over Harley Quinn as well, but I've been enjoying her run on Catwoman, as well as our next book, Punchline, the Gotham game, number 6. This wraps up the miniseries. Where we left off, Punchline was near death and had been discovered by, no, not someone I think of as a savior, the Joker. And Port Royal had been, which was formerly the secret hideout of the Royal Flush Gang, had been pretty much turned into a massacre. One of the members is seemingly bucking for a higher position, but Punchline is being stitched up by Joker. They talk a bit, and they also fight a bit. But she goes back out into the city to, well, reclaim her place in the Gotham City underworld. Miller Harbor, the Royal Flush Gang, what remains of them, have shown up to face down with Black Mask and the others, looking for Cullen, Bluebird's brother, who they believe to have been kidnapped by Black Mask. Batman and Bluebird arrive on the scene, and our streamer from the first issue starts streaming again with the new streaming rig built into his arm, calling himself Navy SEAL. Navy spelled Knavy. And basically, Punchline finds him, and a ping is set up, and call everyone to Miller Harbor. But an anti-nanite field is activated by Bluebird, but it's not soon enough. As a small army of followers show up, looking for more Exo, and well, she has Tracy says, "Hey, yeah, here all it is. Go get it." Batman and Bluebird leave with Black Mask and one of the others trying to follow, but Jack is killed by Queen, and a certain member of the DA's office begins looking into the recent arrest of Selena Kyle. And that is where the series ends. Nice way of tying things, basically kind of tying things all together with this and Tini Howard's current run on Catwoman. It was a good series overall, though. I liked it. Moving on to our next book, we've got Tim Drake Robin, number 7. Starting off with a new story arc. But Tim and Bernard are supposed to be going out to dinner at a fancy restaurant. Bruce managed to, Tim's connection to Bruce Wayne allowed them to get reservations. And they talk a bit about Bernard's parents, who were not exactly encouraging of him or supportive. So Tim and Bernard arrive at the restaurant, and then his parents do as well. But Bernard's parents wanted to come home. Basically, kind of a, hey, it's made clear that they're pretty much just saying, this whole thing with Tim Drake, that's not you. So yeah, but Firefly attacks. Robin fights Firefly. Bernard has to save his family, and his father says that things would have been better if Bernard had been born, and so Bernard leaves. The flame dies down, and Tim comes out, and thinking that Firefly definitely has someone working with him, but who? And then what Bernard says causes things to click that it must be Phobia. Tim goes back. And Tim and Bernard managed to save the day. Firefly and Phobia are arrested, and then Tim walks Bernard home. Apparently Bernard's monologue. Bernard's aware that Tim is Robin. But he's not going to say anything about it until, but he won't bring. It's not something he's going to bring up. If Tim opts to tell him, then they'll say, "I've known," but yeah. And apparently, it's the anniversary of when they reconnected, and Bernard got Tim a necklace with a bee on it. And the issue ends with them sharing a kiss. Well, not quite. At Dowd home, Bernard's family home, um, Bernard's mother texts Bernard, apologizing, asking him to come home soon, or to come home. That is the end of the issue. It's nice to get some background on Bernard. There wasn't a lot really stated in his earlier appearances, so, and his more recent ones have kind of had to be more of Tim Drake's boyfriend. That's it. And that they knew each other previously. That's all. Well before they started dating. Moving on, though, to our last book for the moment, we've got Gotham City Year 1, Number 6, wrapping up the flashback miniseries. Where we left off, Gotham City was burning, and Slam Bradley had realized that Constance Wayne was the one who killed her daughter. While the city burns, Slam Bradley deals with her security, while also thinking on when he became a cop. And in fact, even working at the precinct that his brother had gone into and never came out of. And reflecting on the fact that he's actually half black. But one day, after he became detective, he pulled the file on his brother. Nothing much, really. There was a file as an NWC. Slam asked what NWC meant, and apparently meant Negro went crazy. I imagine that when the chief explained it, he did use that exact wording, but yeah. So, the Waynes and Slam talk a bit. Apparently, the cave underneath Wayne Manor at one time was used as a trophy room for Richard Wayne's side girls. And, but she was well aware. This is all explained while Slam and Richard fight it out. But she adds that she didn't kill her daughter. She does, however, kill her husband. That she knew that the kidnapping had been perpetrated by her husband, as he even signed it, the Batman. But she explains that she found her daughter dead in the crib and buried her, basically placing the blame as far from her as possible. But the official story becomes that Richard Wayne was so distraught over things that he committed suicide, and the Wayne Foundation begins work on a chemical plant that they were about to start on. Eventually, there was some bad press about it, so it got sold to the Ace Chemical Company. About a year later, years later, after Constance's second child, Thomas, was born, she came to Slam, seeing if he would maybe be a guiding hand. I would say it's heavily suggested that Thomas Wayne is actually Slam's son. But he explains that he's got work to do, so he's too busy. And Constance Wayne leaves. In the present, he then goes on to explain to Batman that shortly after that, that was the last time he saw her, and Constance Wayne died of lung cancer soon thereafter. But Slam kind of goes on to explain that buried don't stay down. And that is where the series ends. This was definitely an interesting miniseries. There have been storylines in the past that kind of called into question aspects of parentage of members of the Wayne family. I remember Grant Morrison's Batman R.I.P. story had it tried to make the implicate had characters making the absolutely false implication that Bruce was actually the child of Alfred and Martha Wayne, as opposed to Thomas and Martha. This is definitely the first time that we've seen anything that really that looked back into the generation before Thomas Wayne. I don't think anything that ever came up about that. It was guys always assumed, oh yes, the Waynes have been the pillars of Gotham City since its founding. So, but interesting to see just kind of, and also just seeing how the city became the Gotham City we know. I remember being mentioned earlier in the series that Metropolis at that time had an insane crime rate, which I can't even imagine that. But anyway, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.